you really need a flood of documents for your visa interview, be it your student visa interview or tourist visa interview or any other visa interview. Sometimes we are all so confused, like what documents should we carry, what documents we shouldn't when we are appearing for the interview. So today we're gonna talk about that. We're kind of gonna discuss like what documents should we carry, what should be like the order, just mostly for our convenience. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that today. So before we jump into that, I also want to tell you guys that I'm trying to make like set of videos mostly related to student visa interview, and also which will also a lot be related to other US visa interviews also, or like other US visa applications, because a lot of things are also quite similar. Of course not everything, but still a lot of things. So there will be like some crossovers, or there'll be some things that will be similar for all visa type or visa interviews. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the documents that we should carry for the visa interview. Before this, I have talked about my visa interview experience and some very basic tips of like that you can like think of or follow when you're going for your visa interview. So you can check that out here, and I'm also linking that in the description box. So like it always kind of helps you to know others' experiences, because when I was going for my interview, I really wanted to read or like watch a lot about how other people's experiences were. Okay, so I'll keep on chit chatting. So yeah, let's start with the document list. So before I start, actually, one thing that because I have a list, so I'll probably be reading it out a little bit, so don't get irritated. So yeah, so before we start, so this is one file. I think a lot of people, pretty much everyone sort of likes keeping this file. I don't know what you call it, but I think what really, so something that's really good with this file is, you see this, right? So you have a lot of sections here. So mostly, when you're going, trying to arrange any sort of documents, it's always easy or convenient to actually put them, separate them, like based on whatever way you want, which we'll talk about also later. But it's because it's always, you in your mind you're thinking that you have a lot of documents and you remember them all, but you're actually not. I mean, I'm not. So you might, like suddenly, let's say they ask for a document during the visa interview, which usually they don't ask for a lot, but still. So then, like you don't want to, like start finding here, okay, I don't know, like what, where it is and stuff, right? So that will make you more nervous too. So I like this. I didn't carry this for my visa interview. I wasn't that smart probably. But so I think I kind of made separate small files and put them in a big in like a bigger file. And but I still had those labels for different sets using sticky notes. But yeah, I think this is a lot more convenient. You can just carry this and you're all good. Maybe probably some other color. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of divide this in separate sections, which I like to do with pretty much everything, like whenever I'm arranging my documents, because it makes life a lot easier. So I think the first section or first set of documents would be the ones which are visa application related documents or visa related documents, or you can say these are the documents that are always these are the documents that are mentioned on the USCIS website that you have to carry them with you. So it's basically like essential documents. So let's call them visa application related documents. When you're applying for the visa, you fill the DS-160 form, right? So you'll have like a submission. When you submit that, you'll get like a submission receipt, which you need to carry with you. That will be the first one. And once you've filled your DS-160 application, so then you're gonna ask to pay the SEVIS fee. Once you are like done with the SEVIS fee, then you'll get a SEVIS fee payment receipt. So that is another receipt that you want to keep. So after you're done with these two, then probably after 24 to 48 hours, you can take or schedule your visa interview. So for your visa interview, when you're scheduling it, as I've already mentioned in my previous YouTube video also, that there are two different types. I mean, not two different types, but you go for it like 2 days. First one is the biometrics for your photograph and your fingerprint, and the second one is the actual interview. So you do get like two different appointment confirmations actually. So you want to carry that also along with you. So honestly, like for your biometrics appointment, you really, I mean, it really isn't too many documents that you need to carry. It's more about the visa interview when you have to carry a lot of documents. Not have to, but it's a good idea to carry them. And then you want to carry the I-20 that you got from your university once you got the admission there, or whichever university you finally decided to go with. So you should carry that, and also your passport, because they're gonna ask for these things. Okay, so you really want to keep those things separate in like a separate the file that I showed, like one section of it, and you want to label it. You can label it like visa or visa documents, visa application or something, because that is something that they're gonna ask for. So it'll be really handy. You just pull it out and you don't want to like start looking for it at that time. Yeah, so next, I would say let's talk about the second section. What I would want to put is like admission related documents. Because visa, so let's start like taking backwards, like admission related. So things related to the university you applied to, like a letter from your university if you have any. Other than I-20, of course, I-20 is the main thing which you have already, put it in the main section. Other than that, any letter from your university, and also like if you've gotten scholarship, you definitely want to keep that, like your letter from your university or stating that you've gotten the scholarship. So I would suggest mostly these documents from the university. Sometimes people do also apply for RAs, on campus, or TAs in advance, and they get it. If you have anything like that, you can carry that too. You should carry your GRE and TOEFL scores, or IELTS, whatever you took. Because yeah, I mean, see, again, I would say that they don't usually ask for these documents, but these are things related to your admission, and which is leading you to the visa, and it's not a lot of work to keep these documents. So I would suggest that you keep them with you. Another thing is that you can keep like another university admits or rejections that you got, because yeah, this is definitely like a very common question that they sometimes many times ask, that how many universities you applied to, or how many universities you got admit from. So of course you're going to answer that. They're not going to ask you for documents or anything, but it's good to have it. Okay, so now we are done with the visa application related documents, the admission related documents. Now coming to our history. So about our education and work experience. If you've applied for undergrad, then like documents related to your school, 12th, all that. If you've applied for masters, documents related to your undergrad, and if you've been working, documents related to that too. So you should keep your transcripts, because you would have them when you applied for the universities, right? It's not like it's an extra effort to get them. So you should keep those. Also degree if you have. And then if you're working, or if you have been working, you need a letter from your employer that okay, this is the position that you're working on, or you were working on until this date. So like this so and so person has been working with this company from this time to this time on this in this role, and then this is the salary that they are getting. So yeah, this kind of like an employment letter. And then if you are working, or if you've been working, carry your pay stubs or salary slips. Usually, like I would say, like a standard is like 6 months, like bank statement 6 months, pay stub 6 months, like that. So that would be one thing. If you're working, you want to keep your income tax return also. We'll talk about that in the financial documents, which we're going to discuss next. Okay, so next we'll talk about the financial documents, which is really important. So for the financial documents, there can be different ways how you're getting sponsored, right? Like it can be that your parents are sponsoring you, or your family is sponsoring you, or you're sponsoring yourself, like as in you're getting loan, or you're getting scholarship. Maybe you're getting full scholarship, maybe you're getting 50% of it. So then 50% of it you're sponsoring through either loan or your family, so all those things. So regarding financial documents, if you've gotten a scholarship, you already have that in your college section, right? In your admission section. Other documents, first, if someone is sponsoring you, let's say your parents, you can get a letter from them saying that they're going to sponsor your education in US for this particular university. And like they usually call it, I think, Affidavit of Support. Again, I have not heard them asking for these letters, but this is something really standard, so I would say that it's good to keep it. So other than that, you should have like 6 months bank statement of your sponsor, whoever is sponsoring, and also your own bank statement if you've been working. If you're taking loan, you should have a letter from your bank, like a loan sanction, education loan sanction letter. And then other than this, you can have any other document that from which you can show your, that you have the finances, like your provident funds, your so this applies for both you and your sponsor. It really depends, like if you've not been working, of course you'll not have all these, but if you've been working, you'll have your own. And whoever is sponsoring you, you need to show those also, like combined finances, that you the sponsor is will be able to sustain, like your living in the US and your studies for that certain amount of time. um, so yeah, so you should keep their provident funds, their mutual funds, their savings, any land valuations, any properties that they have. A lot of people also do gold valuations. I didn't really do that. I mean, but it adds value, right, to your, like kind of financial status. So if you want, you can add that too. But I think mostly what's important is your bank statement and your savings, like provident funds and like stuff, those documents related to that. So, and then you can also show any other property or documents, land and stuff related, uh, or for financial purpose, and also to show your ties to the home country, because it's a non-immigrant visa. So if you have like proof showing that you have intentions of coming back to your home country, it's always an added benefit. Another thing is like your identification, like personal identification documents. I don't know how necessary it is because you already have your passport, but if you have it, you can carry your Aadhar card. So as I already mentioned earlier, usually these officers, they don't ask for any documents other than the ones that we talked about in the first section, the visa application related documents, which they have also mentioned on their website, that like these are the documents that you need to carry. But it's always a good idea to carry some, just in case, you don't want to regret that later, just in case they ask for them. I haven't heard of like anyone who they really ask for, like these kind of documents, like your transcripts and stuff. But you already have them handy, so why not just carry them? It's not I feel like more than showing it to them, it'll help you feel a lot more confident, and it'll help you, kind of you will feel like, okay, I have my things in place and everything, so you'll feel a little bit more confident, and at the end of the day, I think confidence is the key. If you're confident, you're just gonna do great. This is it from today, guys. Please let me know if there are any documents that I missed out, and if there are any documents that are really important which I forgot to mention here, because it will really help everyone else, and I feel like it will also help in me learning more. And in my next video, I'm gonna talk about the things that you're gonna be packing when you're coming to US after you've gotten the visa. So stay tuned for that.